Welcome. Get ready for a full hour of pure movie nostalgia. In this special compilation, we're revisiting the real-life locations behind the most iconic film scenes, then and now. Please go and check out the original website in the description. The Godfather used Ross School in California for one short scene, far from its East Coast settings, highlighting the filmmaker's dedication to visual authenticity. The Dude's psychedelic trip in The Big Lebowski includes a dreamlike stroll through Sunken City in San Pedro, California. The fenced-off ruins remain a local secret. Garbage Day. The cult line from Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 was filmed on Santa Anita Court in Sierra Madre, California. The quiet street still draws horror fans. The Exorcist house at 3600 Prospect Street, D.C. had a fake wing added for the fall scene. The interiors were filmed on a frozen New York set with actual snow from condensation. Michael Myers watches from the shadows in Halloween Kills on South 20th Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. The alley still retains its eerie look decades later. Mick's Bar in Halloween Kills, where chaos erupts, was filmed at the Rusty Nail in Wilmington. Today, it remains a live music bar with its cinematic past mostly intact. The opening scene of Stand By Me was shot on Northern Drive in Brownsville, Oregon. The quiet street still echoes the film's nostalgic tone and small-town Americana. Harlan's Garage from U-Turn once stood in Superior, Arizona. Now erased by mining development, only palm trees hint at the gritty neo-noir that once filmed there. The high-tech facility in the Cabin in the Woods was filmed at BCIT's Aerospace Campus in Vancouver. Opened in 2007, it still resembles the secretive lab in the film. Much of Zombieland was filmed in Noonan, Georgia. Its small-town streets provided the perfect backdrop for the horror comedy's chaotic survival story. Norman Osborn delivers his famous line at Columbia University in Spider-Man. The ivy-covered campus remains a favorite for superhero origin scenes. Annie's Walk in Friday the 13th was filmed on Main and Bridge Street in Blairstown, New Jersey. While some features are gone, Roy's Hall still screens the movie today. The Wild Pony Bar from Sicario sits empty in Los Lunas, New Mexico. Once the scene of tense cartel meetings, it's now a quiet shell along New Mexico 314. The Exorcist III filmed scenes at Holy Trinity Church in Washington, D.C., a historic church standing since 1794 in the Georgetown neighborhood. The desert road where Bobby turns off toward Superior and U-Turn is still remote and dusty, located near Queen Valley and Hewitt Station Road in Gold Canyon, Arizona. The Fast and the Furious. The thrilling Ferry Street Race starts at Trancas Canyon Road and Pacific Coast Highway in Malibu, California, with the driver speeding west along the iconic coastal route. Jada's house in Menace II Society served as a quiet contrast to the film's violence. Filmed in South Central Los Angeles, the neighborhood has changed, but traces remain. Back to the Future. Part 2 filmed Hill Valley High School scenes at Whittier High School. Built in 1905, the school's recognizable staircases are still visible today. The wild Hummer chase in The Rock tore up Jones Street in San Francisco. The storefronts have changed, but the iconic hills remain perfect for action scenes. Jade's home in The Rock is a historic 1922 house in San Pedro, California. It remains a quiet residence, largely unchanged from its screen appearance. The Cohen family's house in the OC was actually in Malibu, not Orange County. The luxurious home became as iconic as the drama it housed in the early 2000s series. Barzini's hit in The Godfather was filmed at New York City's 60 Center Street, a 1927 courthouse also seen in TMNT and Night Court. It's a designated city landmark, inside and out. The final scene of Stand By Me was filmed in Brownsville, Oregon. Though decades have passed, the quiet streets still resemble the boys' nostalgic journey home. Dr. Giggles used locations around Portland, Oregon, blending suburban charm with horror in this cult 1992 slasher film. Clueless features the famous Circus Liquor in North Hollywood, California, with its towering neon clown sign that remains a local landmark. The Green Mile shot scenes at the historic Cone Manor in North Carolina's Blue Ridge Mountains, using its scenic grounds to create authentic period settings. Seven's What's in the Box scene was shot in the deserts of Lancaster, California. New power lines installed in 2015 slightly altered the stark, desolate landscape. Collateral filmed scenes throughout Los Angeles, using the city's nocturnal glow to heighten its gritty, suspenseful atmosphere, especially during the taxi sequences. Starr's Mill Park in Georgia was the haunting site in The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. The historic Red Mill still looms over the calm water today. Boys and the Hood filmed 3 key homes, all on Cimarron Street in Los Angeles. These 1923-built houses also appeared in Don't Be a Menace, a parody of the original. Tweed's Cafe in North Bend, Washington, still serves pie and coffee just like in Twin Peaks. The Return. The iconic diner was restored after a 2016 fire. Buddy flees the Central Park Rangers at Pine Bank Arch in Elf. The historic staircase and path remain a Central Park landmark in New York. Clint Eastwood's Josie Wales plays a ghostly piano in the desert. The surreal shot was filmed in Pariah Canyon, Utah. Today, little remains but the haunting landscape. I Know What You Did Last Summer. The haunting opening and car accident scenes were filmed along Highway 1 near Jenner, California, right by Colmer Gulch, giving the film its coastal, eerie atmosphere. The Guest, Moriarty High School in New Mexico, served as the backdrop for the suspenseful high school scenes. Though the entrance has been heavily renovated, the movie's intense vibe still lingers. The Getaway filmed across Texas and Arizona, using small towns and dusty landscapes to mirror the characters' chaotic escape journey. The Exorcist psychiatric hospital scenes were filmed at Goldwater Hospital on Roosevelt Island, New York. Built in 1939, it closed in 2013 and was demolished soon after. I Spit on Your Grave, 1978. The film's chilling opening scenes were captured in New York City along Sutton Place, setting an unsettling urban tone before moving into the isolated woods. The old diner in The Guest was located in Moriarty, New Mexico, off Route 66. Built around 1953, it's now permanently closed but still recognizable to sharp-eyed fans. The ranch From Hell or High Water sits on a remote dirt road in Moriarty, New Mexico. Though aged, the house still stands much as it did in the 2016 film's dramatic climax. Sheriff Hoyt finds Leatherface next to 17,016 Lund Road in Elgin, Texas, in Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Beginning. The rural setting remains chillingly familiar. National Lampoon's Vacation filmed its famous car scene in Monument Valley, Utah. The dramatic landscape still looks the same and just as remote as it did in 1983. The eerie Madison home in Lost Highway still stands at 7035 Sonalda Road in Los Angeles. Built in 1957, it retains the sleek mid-century look used in Lynch's surreal thriller. Opper's Diner from Jeepers Creepers was filmed in Lake Panasoffkee, Florida. Though now altered, the old diner site still sits beside a modern four-lane highway. Superman 2 used Niagara Falls for its romantic and action-filled scenes. The landmark remains a tourist favorite and is nearly unchanged since 1980. Adult Mike's house in It, 1990, stands on Kiefer Street in Vancouver. Still residential today, the area has changed, but fans may recognize the steep roofline and windows. After the earthquake in San Andreas, the iconic line, "Now we rebuild," was delivered at Battery Spencer, overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge in Sausalito, California. In Scream 2, Randy is murdered outside Agnes Scott College in Decatur, Georgia. The campus remains a frequent location for film and TV thrillers. deadly friend. BB's suburban chaos unfolded in sleepy California neighborhoods. While the killer robot's memory has faded, many filming locations still look untouched. Freeway. Reese Witherspoon's gritty road trip stopped in some stark desert spots. Though unnamed here, most locations were real Southern California towns with eerie desolation. The First Power. Carmen's eerie murder in The First Power happened at Griffith Park's old zoo. The abandoned enclosures remain intact, decaying, haunting, and full of cinematic history. Zodiac filmed the attack on Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mageau at 30,570 Bouquet Canyon Road, Santa Clarita, California. No Country for Old Men filmed the memorable gate entrance scene on Ranch Road 505 in Valentine, Texas, set against wide, desolate landscapes. Graveyard Shift, 1990. The creepy Bachman Mills, featured in Stephen King's Graveyard Shift, was filmed in Harmony, Maine. The abandoned mill gave the movie its genuinely grimy and eerie setting. Twin Peaks shot Packard's Sawmill and the Sheriff's Department scenes at 7001 396th Drive Southeast, Snoqualmie, Washington, capturing the town's haunting charm. Natural-born killers filmed Mickey's escape just north of Indian Service Route 13, New Mexico, with the iconic Shiprock Formation towering nearby. In Night of the Creeps, Cameron blows up the Axe zombie behind 14,540 Sylvan Street in Van Nuys, California. The alley and rear buildings remain nearly identical today. The beach training scenes in The Karate Kid were shot at Leo Carrillo Beach in Malibu. The surf and rock still match Daniel's iconic crane kick silhouette. In Better Off Dead, Lane's absurdly comedic and snowy misadventures unfold in Glendale, California, though it was filmed to resemble a small mountain town in Oregon. In E.T., the flying bike scene begins at White Oak Avenue and Tulsa Street in Granada Hills, California. The quiet suburban street still draws nostalgic fans today. Clark Sanitarium in Black Christmas, 2006, was Riverview Hospital's East Lawn building in Coquitlam, British Columbia. Closed in 2012, it's been used in many eerie film shoots. American History X filmed at the iconic Johnny's Coffee Shop on Wilshire Boulevard, a classic Googie-style diner now preserved as a historic cultural monument. Fire in the Skies Hospital scene used the Veterans Affairs Hospital in Roseburg, Oregon. Building 1 still stands where Travis Walton's harrowing alien abduction aftermath was chillingly depicted. Training Day's entrance to the jungles is at Palmwood Drive and Buckingham Road, Los Angeles. Local gang members were cast as extras to ensure authentic representation of the neighborhood. Forrest Gump's iconic bus scenes were filmed at 1540 Main Avenue, Southwest Washington, D.C., near the tidal basin, with the Jefferson Memorial visible in the distance. Maximum Overdrive features Stephen King at an automated teller machine filmed at North Front Street and Princess Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. The building was demolished in 2008. Once Upon a Time in the West Cliffside Cave can be found near Kayenta, Arizona. Reaching the dramatic filming site demands a 5-mile hike, but the sweeping vistas are worth it. Just one of the guys filmed at a historic 1926 house in Phoenix, Arizona. Once a family home, the structure now serves as apartments while retaining much of its charm. The Punisher, 2004, filmed Howard's walk scene along the Tampa River Walk. Set behind Harbor Island, this stylish waterfront area framed the villain's arrival perfectly. Deliverance. The hospital scenes in Deliverance were filmed in Clayton, Georgia. At the time of visiting, the building served as the Rabun County Health Department. Eastbound and Down. Jefferson Davis Middle School in Wilmington, North Carolina, stood in for Kenny Powers' chaotic teaching days. The school was later renamed after war hero Colonel Charles P. Murray, Jr. The Hitcher. Jim finally pushes Ryder out of a moving vehicle near Lake Mead Boulevard in Nevada. The desert highway remains just as isolated and cinematic today. Rocky. Rocky jogs through Philly's Italian Market on 9th Street. The fruit toss from a vendor was unscripted, capturing a real reaction from unaware bystanders. Stranger Things. While exact context is unclear, many scenes were filmed around Douglasville, Georgia, especially in the fictional town of Hawkins. Let me know if you want a specific location clarified. The Denny's from 5 Easy Pieces, 1970, still stands today. Located in Oregon, it hosted the famous diner confrontation scene with Jack Nicholson refusing to follow the rules. The Wraith, 1986, filmed at Geology Vista in Arizona's Catalina Highway. The sweeping desert views where Charlie Sheen's supernatural car raced remain rugged and hauntingly beautiful. Silver Bullet's eerie small-town atmosphere was filmed around Wilmington, North Carolina. The town's charming yet ominous streets remain recognizable decades after the werewolf terror. Friday Night Lights. The abandoned East Dillon High Field in Austin was once part of Duval High School. Though the school is gone, the overgrown field quietly tells its own story. Invasion of the Body Snatchers, 1978. The chilling finale unfolds at San Francisco's Civic Center Park right in front of City Hall. The building still looms as dramatically as it did in the film. E.T. the Extraterrestrial, 1982. Elliot and friends trick-or-treat down Granada Circle in Porter Ranch. The quiet suburban street still looks remarkably similar, a nostalgic walk back to 1982. The X-Files. Bunsen Lake in British Columbia provided the eerie backdrop for several episodes. Surrounded by forest, its foggy shoreline fit the series' haunting tone perfectly. Stand By Me filmed Gordy's house scenes in Brownsville, Oregon. The town's authentic 1950s feel helped bring Stephen King's nostalgic coming-of-age story to life. The Wraith film Big K's Burger scenes in Tucson, Arizona. The original mid-1960s structure was demolished in the early 1990s. A newer building now partially covers the spot. Happy Gilmore. Many golf scenes were shot in British Columbia's Swanee-Set Bay Resort. The course is still open today, more peaceful than the chaos Gilmore brought with each swing. Species 3. The gas station in Piru, California, served as a key location in the science fiction sequel. Though little known, it still stands today, an unassuming spot from a forgotten horror entry. Twilight Zone. The movie. Driftwood. Convalescent home in Peru was the setting for Kick the Can. The quiet corner of Center and Church remains, holding a ghost of the film's wistful, supernatural charm. The Terminator. Sarah Connor's apartment courtyard was once the quiet heart of her early scenes. Though slightly modernized, the structure remains mostly unchanged, a haunting echo of her doomed peace. Terminator 2. The T-800 stalks John Connor along Morgan Avenue in Burbank. Back then, the overpass loomed behind them. Today, it's gone, replaced by a modern freeway ramp that altered the skyline. The Hitcher. Gas pumps erupt into flames as Jim flees for his life. The desolate road near Mineola still feels eerie, though the pumps are long gone. Just wind, dust, and movie history remain. The Goonies. The county jail where Jake Fratelli escapes is in Astoria, Oregon. Now home to the Oregon Film Museum celebrating the town's rich movie history. The Goonies. The beloved Walsh family house, where the Goonies' adventure begins, still stands in Astoria, Oregon, although public access is restricted today to preserve it. Kindergarten Cop. Arnold Schwarzenegger's search for Cindy took him through the bustling Broadway district in Los Angeles, with the historic arcade theater peeking out in the background. The Fast and the Furious. Neptune's Net in Malibu, California, originally built in 1956, started as a gas station and restaurant. It also appeared in Los in It and Point Break, 1991. Ash's journey for the Necronomicon in Army of Darkness was filmed at Vasquez Rocks in Agua Dulce. The alien-looking rock formations have been a favorite filming site for decades. From Dusk Till Dawn, filmed at Dewdrop Motel in Mojave, California. Renovated in 2009, this early 1970s motel also appears in Nocturnal Animals. Cujo's tennis scene was filmed at McNear Park in Petaluma, California. The courts sit near G Street and 11th Street, offering a peaceful backdrop before the chaos unfolds. Unbreakable. David Dunn's comic book store, limited edition, was filmed at 1602 Locust Street in Philly. It's now a Mexican restaurant, but the storefront remains recognizable. RoboCop. The interior of Detroit Police HQ was actually the upstairs hall of Sons of Herman in Dallas. The custom doors used in the film still remain to this day. The Wizard. The Cabazon dinosaurs in California served as the quirky finale setting. The famous roadside attraction still stands, unchanged, and a nostalgic pilgrimage site. Friends. Though set in New York, most scenes were filmed at Warner Brothers Studios in Burbank. The studio lot remains a top tour spot for die-hard Friends fans today. The Exorcist. Chris and Father Karras share a fateful conversation on the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal Bridge. The path is quiet today, yet retains the same haunting stillness from the film. The Warriors. Much of the film was shot on New York City's gritty subway platforms. Today, many of the original stations remain in service, cleaned up but still echoing that underground tension. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Spahn Ranch was recreated at Corriganville Park in Simi Valley, a former movie ranch ravaged by wildfires. Its ruins and trails now serve as a public filming landmark. The Sandlot. Filmed in Salt Lake City, Utah, the Sandlot was leveled years ago. Fans still visit the area near Glen Rose Drive, where a plaque marks the site of that endless summer. Hellraiser 3. Hell on Earth. Joey runs from Cenobites on South Elm Street in Greensboro. While the skyline has grown, much of the downtown's bones still reflect the chaos unleashed in Clive Barker's urban nightmare. Slaughterhouse Rock. John Marshall High in Los Angeles provided the haunting backdrop for this supernatural slasher. Used in many films, its Gothic design still looms dramatically over the Silver Lake Hills. Revenge of the Nerds. Cochise Hall at the University of Arizona still stands proudly as the Nerds' dorm. With minor updates, it remains a nostalgic spot for fans of the 1984 campus comedy classic. The Fog, 1980. The church from The Fog still stands at 25 East Laurel Avenue, Sierra Madre. Built in 1888, it's a registered historic site and also appeared in Return of the Living Dead Part 2. Children of the Corn. Though mostly set in Nebraska-like fields, this driving scene reused Mulholland Highway. The rolling hills offer an unexpected contrast to the film's tone. From Dusk Till Dawn. Benny's World of Liquor, where all hell breaks loose, still stands in Lancaster. Built in the 1950s, it also appeared in Terminator 2 as Cactus Jack's Market. The Crazies, 2010. That haunting baseball field is in Lenox, Iowa. It's still used by the high school team, quietly resting beneath Midwest skies since at least the 1950s. Heat's intense armored truck robbery was filmed at Venice Boulevard and Georgia Street, Los Angeles. The gritty downtown surroundings amplified Michael Mann's relentless, realistic action. In Heat, Michael picks up Waingro at Southwestern Avenue and Pico Boulevard, Los Angeles. The rough energy of this real-life urban crossing gave the film an authentic, unpredictable tension. Army of Darkness filmed castle scenes at Pulsa Rosa Ranch in Acton, California. Though the movie's medieval castle was a set, the rugged Soledad Canyon landscape remains recognizable. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984, filmed funeral scenes at Evergreen Cemetery, Los Angeles. The historic cemetery's haunting ambiance perfectly fit the film's eerie tone. Back to the Future Part 2 used Mount Hollywood Tunnel in Los Angeles for the hoverboard chase. This tunnel has also appeared in Who Framed Roger Rabbit and War Games. Drive filmed at Big Six Market in Los Angeles. Irene and Benicio are seen walking down aisle 2, highlighting the film's everyday settings mixed with underlying tension. Thelma and Louise filmed Thelma's home scenes at a 1962-built house in Tarzana, California. Its suburban style reflects the ordinary life she longs to escape from. Over the top, Lincoln Hawk's rig rumbles near Brigham's Tomb in Monument Valley. The desert monolith still stands silent, timeless against the fading glory of this cult favorite arm wrestling saga. Poltergeist 2: The Other Side. Filmed at Celtic Street and Varial Avenue, this newer suburban location stood in for the Friedlings' haunted home. Today, it is still residential, with no trace of the supernatural left behind. Hereditary. Filmed across Utah and Utah County, the unsettling suburban home and eerie surroundings remain visually similar today. Ordinary on the surface, haunted in movie memory. Point Break. Indian Beach in Oregon was the dramatic surf spot for Bodie's final ride. The rocky shoreline still draws visitors, though few are chasing the same kind of deadly thrill. Encino Man, 1992. Brendan Fraser's Pauly Shore flick was filmed in West Hills, California. The suburban backdrop and high school settings are still easily recognizable today. Seven. The famous Chase Alley scene was filmed near South Broadway and West 5th Street in Los Angeles, capturing the gritty urban tension central to the film. Drag Me to Hell. Christine Brown's house in Los Angeles adds to the film's sense of suburban dread with its unsettling, familiar setting. The Flintstones, 1994. The live-action Flintstones brought bedrock to Vasquez rocks. These alien-like formations perfectly suited the prehistoric aesthetic and still draw movie fans today. Wayne's World, 1992. Wayne's sarcastic quip about flying monkeys was filmed in Van Nuys, Los Angeles. While the sets are gone, many street-level exteriors still match the film's memorable scenes. Young Guns. The dusty streets of Los Cerrillos, New Mexico, stood in for 1800s Lincoln, New Mexico. The rustic charm remains, and walking down First Street today feels like stepping back in time. The Outsiders movie theater is Circle Cinema in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Opened in 1928, it's still operating and listed on the National Register of Historic Places. The paved road Christian discovers in the Twilight Zone episode 100 Yards Over the Rim is California 190 near Olancha, California, still a desolate highway today. Encino Man's frozen caveman was discovered in a suburban backyard in Encino, California. Today, the neighborhood remains unchanged, a slice of 90s teen comedy history. In Harry and the Hendersons, the Henderson family home was filmed at 4214 Burke Avenue, in Seattle. It still looks remarkably similar to its 1987 on-screen appearance. Lethal Weapon 2 filmed the thrilling beach scenes at Turania Cove in California. The cave scene in the background also appeared in The Lost Boys. Joe Dirt, the fireworks, snakes, and sparkles scene, was filmed at an undisclosed location, blending humor and chaos into the movie's quirky essence. Interview with the Vampire. The St. Martin Hotel in San Francisco, where many pivotal moments in the film were shot, provides a haunting backdrop to the vampire narrative. Beverly Hills Cop used the Grand Beverly Hills City Hall for key scenes, showcasing its distinctive Spanish Revival architecture. The Lost Boys filmed The Vampire's Lair at Hudson's Bluff Sea Cave in California, a rugged coastal site that captured the movie's eerie atmosphere. Kindergarten Cop Astoria Elementary, also known as John Jacob Astor Elementary, still serves students today. Just blocks from the Goonies house, it is a beloved landmark in Oregon's Hollywood history. The Devil's Rejects. The bloody final shootout took place off Old Golden State Highway near Castaic. The repaved stretch and Peru Creek Bridge still mark the location where the Firefly saga met its blaze. A Nightmare on Elm Street. Nancy's house at 1428. North Genesee Avenue still stands in Los Angeles with its iconic look intact. The blue door seen in the first film is now red again, just like Freddy remembers. The People Under the Stairs. The Erie Robeson Funeral Home was filmed at 2215 South Harvard Boulevard in Los Angeles. The building remains instantly recognizable with its distinct exterior still mostly unchanged. The Ring. Rachel walks beneath a ladder on West 4th Street in downtown Los Angeles, near South Main Street. The gritty stretch still holds its urban charm, fitting for the film's haunting atmosphere. The Goonies. The Fratellis police chase near Ecola State Park ends at 1180 Pacific Drive in Cannon Beach. Today, the road and surrounding cliffs still evoke memories of the film's opening mayhem. Joyride. The Lone Star Motel in Wells, Nevada was as grim in real life as it looked on film. Though closed now, the exterior still stands, faded and eerie under the desert sun. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, 2003. The brutal slaughterhouse scenes were filmed at Taylor Meat Company, operating since 1947. Still functional today, the location's gritty facade remains chillingly recognizable. The Crazies, 2010. Finley Funeral Home in Lenox, Iowa, served up suspense and dread in The Crazies. Now Ritchie Funeral Home, the structure retains its eerie stillness on Main Street. Back to the Future Part 2. Strickland's Porch was filmed at 12,511 Bailey Street in Whittier. The 1920 home still stands. Though the steps have moved, Whittier High still looms in the background, unchanged. The Exorcist. The McNeil House scenes were filmed in Washington, D.C., with interiors recreated at an old New York studio. Production famously refrigerated the bedroom set to capture the actor's frosty breath without CGI. Martin, 1978. This cult vampire tale used real Pittsburgh neighborhoods for its eerie realism. The once blighted row houses where Martin stalked his victims have mostly been restored or razed. Gone Girl. Nick Dunn's house in Cape Girardeau still sits at 831 Ranney Avenue. The unassuming home played a key role in unraveling Amy's twisted plan and remains little changed today. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. The pie scene with Vince and Dee was shot in Los Angeles Arts District. Though the show is Philly-based, many exterior shots, like this one, were filmed in sunny California. The Getaway used Bucky O'Neill's sporting goods in Prescott, Arizona. The Santa Fe Depot appears in the background, also seen in Junior Bonner, 1972. Tourist Trap. The girls drive Mulholland Highway, passing Malibu Creek State Park. The pull-off remains popular today for stunning views, less eerie, more Instagram-worthy. The town that dreaded sundown. The Texarkana Union Station doubled as a police station. Built in 1930, it straddles two states and still serves Amtrak on its Arkansas side. First Blood. The tense encounter between Rambo and Teasel took place in front of what is now Gardner Chevrolet in Hope, British Columbia. Hellraiser 3. Hell on Earth. The Pyramid Gallery in Greensboro, North Carolina, was used as a setting, adding to the chilling atmosphere of the movie. Jeepers Creepers, Hopper's Diner, named after the film's producer, sat along Florida 44 in Lake Panasoffkee. The quiet 2-lane road is now a 4-lane split highway. American Beauty, the Top Hat Motel served as a key filming location, adding gritty ambiance to the film's suburban themes. A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. The iconic Weston Hills Psychiatric Hospital was filmed at UCLA's Royce Hall, lending the location an eerie academic vibe. The Hitcher. The sheriff's station was actually the Apple Valley Gun Club in Victorville. It still stands today, barely altered, and remains recognizable as the tense setting where fear first unfolds. Easy Rider. Sunset Crater Volcano's jagged beauty set the backdrop for Wyatt and Billy's iconic journey. Still protected today, it remains as untouched and otherworldly as it was in the film. Taxi Driver. Travis and Betsy meet at Child's Coffee Shop, once at 4 Columbus Circle in New York City. Today, it is a Duane Reade, but the structure remains a stop for devoted Scorsese fans. Castaway. The island scenes were filmed on Monuriki, a small, uninhabited island in Fiji. It remains pristine, though now it is a popular tourist spot for fans of Wilson and Chuck. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. The farmhouse hideout in Curry, North Carolina still stands, porch swing and all. The surrounding fields where the turtles trained have not changed much since that quiet rural interlude. Clown House filmed the family's home in Napa, California. This late 1960s built house provided an eerie, isolated setting perfect for the film's sinister atmosphere. Can't Buy Me Love. Cindy and Ronald peer over a wall at the airplane graveyard, but the real graveyard is 13 miles away. Today, the wall borders a Tucson construction firm. American History X. The Vineyard family home still stands in Venice, California. Its quiet, unassuming exterior belies the intensity of the scenes filmed within its modest walls. Heat, 1995. Bob's Big Boy in Burbank hosted multiple scenes with Val Kilmer and Robert De Niro. The retro diner still operates and remains a pilgrimage site for fans. Phantasm, 1979. The Morningside Mortuary Gate was filmed at the old Cobb Estate entrance in Altadena. Now a trailhead for hikers, it once housed a mansion owned by the Marx Brothers. Joe Dirt, 2001. Filmed across Southern California and Utah, Joe Dirt used real roadside stops to match its cross-country vibe. National Lampoon's Vacation. The Griswold family rolls into Monument Valley, capturing America's open road spirit. Today, the stunning buttes still tower untouched, timeless as the film's chaotic road trip legacy. Friends. Phoebe's big break at Vasquez Rocks is one of the few Friends scenes shot outdoors. The alien-looking formations in Agua Dulce have been featured in dozens of productions. The Simpsons, 1989. Lisa's poetic food monologue from New Orleans reflects the city's soul. In real life, that very culinary magic still fills its streets, just as animated in The Simpsons. Better Call Saul. Gene Cinnabon in Better Call Saul was filmed inside Cottonwood Mall, Albuquerque. Though the Cinnabon closed in 2018, fans still visit the site, now a crepes and waffles. Cobra Kai. Mr. Miyagi's grave appears at Westview Cemetery in Atlanta. Though fictional, the scene was respectfully staged among real graves, honoring the memory of Pat Morita. Dr. Emmett Brown's House. The Gamble House in Pasadena, California, built in 1908, is a masterpiece of arts and crafts architecture and a popular historical landmark. Friday Night Lights, the Dillon Bus Depot in Austin, Texas, appeared in seasons 4 and 5, becoming a memorable spot in the series' setting. Raising Arizona. The trailer sits south of North 136th Street and East Del Timbre Drive in Scottsdale, Arizona, on Salt River Pima Maricopa Indian Community land, a desert setting. Reservoir Dogs. Warehouse scenes filmed on South Broadway, Los Angeles, California, creating a gritty, tense atmosphere for the film. Rosemary's Baby. Rosemary wanders into traffic at Fifth Avenue and East 55th Street, New York. Across from her is the historic Fifth Avenue Presbyterian Church, established in 1875. Stand By Me, the Blue Point Diner, 419 North Main Street, Brownsville, Oregon, served as the iconic diner stop for the boys on their journey to find Ray Brower. Twelve Monkeys, Brett Rose Hall, 4231 Avenue of the Republic, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, was designed by architect Herman J. Schwartzman and was part of the 1876 Centennial Exposition. A Nightmare on Elm Street, 1984. The opening boiler room scenes were filmed at 421 North Avenue, 19 Los Angeles, California, inside the infamous Lincoln Heights Jail. Black Christmas, 2006. The Delta Alpha Kappa sorority house at 1196 West 59th Avenue, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, was filmed at Ramsey House, a heritage building built in 1912. Edward Scissorhands. The family house and neighborhood were filmed at 1774 Tinsmith Circle, Lutz, Florida, in a newly built area with a small lake, but no castle in sight. Escape from Alcatraz, Alcatraz Island in San Francisco Bay, California, was the infamous prison from which Clint Eastwood's character made his daring escape. Fast and Furious, Toretto's Market at 1234 Bellevue Avenue, Los Angeles, is actually Bob's Food Market, a historic building established in 1913 and designated as a cultural monument.